Good morning everyone. In this session we are going to discuss with factors for growth of industrial revolution. We are continuing the same unit, a changing time. In the previous classes we have already learned what is Renaissance and its meaning. And after we have seen a discovery of new sea routes. Then we have studied all the new sea routes. Then after we have seen Reformation. As we have studied, there are two institutions. Which are the two institutions? We can say that feudalism and the medieval church. These were the two institutions. And after we have seen industrial revolution. So can you say what is industrial revolution? So we can say that the transformation from manual mode of production to mechanized mode of production is called industrial revolution. Okay. Then after that we have seen a glimpse of British economy in the 18th century. There we have seen machines were invented and machine manufactured goods replaced handmade goods. Okay, up to there we have finished. Okay, so in this class we are going to deal with factors for growth of industrial revolution. Okay, come to the topic. Okay, so there were a number of factors that facilitated the growth of industrial revolution in England. Some of these were, which are they? See the first factor. Machines replaced manual labor as a time-saving and more productive substitute. We know that because if you are using with the hand, just like a manual labor, because it's like if you are making something with the hand, it will take a lot of time. But instead, if you are using with any machines, it will take only a less time. That's why. So that's what it is saying. Machines replace manual labor as a time saving, and also through machines we can save our time, and also we can produce a lot of items, things. That's why. And also improve our production also with the machines. If you are going with the handmade, just like a manual labor, it will take a lot of time and also less production. That's the difference. Okay. So that's the first factor. Machines replace manual labor as a time saving and more productive substitute. Technology was upgraded to improve production. Okay, only through technology we can improve our production. And thus, industrial revolution began in England in the 18th century. So when did it begin? Okay, so industrial revolution began in England in the 18th century. Just underline 18th century. Okay. Then after, come to the next one. Second one, Britain had a large deposits of what? Coal and iron. Already you know coal. Okay, what is coal? Okay. Then rapid industrialization required. Rapid industry means sudden industrialization through technologies. Okay, machines. Okay. Required coal in large quantities. This also led to the setting up of coal mining industry. Just underline. So this also, because it is already rapid industrialization, required coal in large quantities. Large quantities they started producing. Okay. And also this also led to the setting up of coal mining industry. Okay. So industries are coming up. So come to the third one, the use of steam. The third one is the use of steam. Underline. So what is that? Later other kinds of power we can say. In place of human and animal labor, and also then after that they started to use of steam. Means instead of human and animal labor, we know that what is human and animal labor. Animal labor means already we know with the ox and so on, because usually we are using it in the agricultural field. Okay, that's why. So when the technologies come, technologies introduced, what is the difference? We know that what is the difference. Okay, that's what here. So the use of steam in place of human and animal labor. Okay, that's it. Then in 1709, Abraham Darby established the first coke-fired blast furnace. Who is that? Who introduced the first, established the first coke-fired blast furnace? Who is that? That is Abraham Darby in 1709. Okay, so furnace we know that it is just like a stove. Okay, usually we are making for cooking. That's what. Okay, which was larger and produced cheap cast iron compared to the expensive charcoal-fired furnace. Okay, we are comparing with the expensive charcoal-fired furnace. Okay, so this was further aided by the development of steam power. This was further aided means which one? The coke-fired blast, or we can say the use of steam. Okay, this was further aided by the development of steam-powered water pump for coal mines in 1698. It's underlined, which made mining safer and more efficient. Okay, only through this they can make the mining more safer and more efficient. That's why. So come to the next one. The use of steam locomotives in public railway lines. So come to the next one. Locomotives, just like a moving locomotives. Okay, moving in public railway lines, pioneered by the, who is that person? Pioneered by the English engineer. Who is that person? George Stephenson, and also he is known as the father of the railways. Okay, who is the father of railways? We can say that George Stephenson. And also use of steam locomotives in public railway lines. Okay, pioneered by the, and also who is that person? The use of steam locomotives in public railway lines, pioneered by the English engineer George Stephenson. Okay, he introduced that one. And also he is the father of the railways. Okay, and also he heralded a landmark in the field of transportation. Okay, and also he heralded means already introduced a landmark in the field of transportation. Okay, that's all. Now raw materials could be brought from all parts of the world because there is a connection. Okay, transportation is possible only through, I think already introduced, railway. So transportation, and also we can just like all the raw materials could be brought from all parts of the world through these lines. Okay, just like a railway lines. That's what. Okay. Then after that, along with this series of inventions took place in England, which revolutionized the textile industry. So come to the next one. I think next factor is that textile industry. James Hargreaves invented the spinning jenny in 1764. We just underline who invented the spinning jenny. You can write James Hargreaves. Okay, we just underline. Okay, and Richard Arkwright. Okay, Arkwright invented the spinning frame. And also who invented the spinning frame? That is Richard Arkwright. And also who invented the spinning jenny? That is James Hargreaves. Okay, you should not make any change. Okay, you have to study correctly because there will be a change, because who invented the spinning jenny, and also who invented the spinning frame. Spinning frame is invented by Richard Arkwright, and also the spinning jenny is invented by James Hargreaves. Okay, you have to study the comparison. Okay. And also a spinning frame in 1769. You have to study the era also. Okay. So which was powered by water, and also it was powered by water, with the help of water. Okay. This led to the tremendous means just like a large increase in the production of cloth. Okay, so with this, okay, so textile industry, it became very tremendous. Okay, tremendous increase only because of this spinning jenny and a spinning frame. Okay, so that's what. And also again, let me ask, who invented spinning jenny? We can say that is James Hargreaves, and also spinning frame invented by, that is Richard Arkwright. That's what. Okay. So come to the last one, last factor. Sir Humphrey Davy's safety lamp provided safety to the miners while working inside the mines. And also who invented the next one? Safety lamp. That is Sir Humphrey Davies. Okay, Humphrey. He invented the safety lamp provided for the, what is the use of the safety lamp? It is provided safety to the miners while working inside the mines. Already one picture is there. I think we just come to the story. One story part is there, no? And also there we can see the lamp. And also one who is lightening the lamp, no? I think he is the Davy. Okay, Davy is the man who invented that one. Okay, that's it. And also you just see the figure. I think first we can see the frame, and also spinning jenny, then locomotive engine. See the locomotive engine connection, just like a moving train. And also Davies safety lamp. Okay, these are the pictures. You just observe the pictures. These are the first one is spinning jenny, spinning frame, then locomotive engine, then after that safety lamp. Okay, Davy's safety lamp. That's it. And also come to the story. I think a short story about the safety lamp. And also who invented? Who? It is a bad luck. You just see what is the story. The lamp invented by Sir Humphrey Davy was successfully tested in January 1816 and it helped in transport of large amount of coal with limited facilities. In this way, it made a fundamental contribution to the continuing industrialization of Britain. As precisely the same time, however, George Stephenson, a mining engineer at Killingworth Colliery, was also working on the same problem. He independently invented a remarkably similar lamp, and soon the two inventors were locked in a battle dispute. Dispute means just like a quarreling, because who will find first the lamp? Okay, over who invented the lamp first. Davy won the battle, of course. At last, who won the battle? Davy. Davy means, who is the full name of this Davy? Humphrey. Okay, Humphrey Davy won the battle of words, while Stephenson went on to invent the first steam-powered locomotive for a railroad. That's what. So, at last we can say that who invented the safety lamp? Very sure that is Humphrey Davy. Should not write the other person. Who is the other person? That is Stephenson. Okay. So who is Stephenson? George Stephenson. He is the father of railway. Okay, that's about that chapter. I think these things are clear for you. There is no doubt in this. And come to the next one. The impact of industrial revolution. Next one. The impact of industrial revolution. So come to the next one. First one. The slew of inventions during the 18th and 19th centuries led to the mechanization of different industries, resulting in a great increase in industrial production and consequently, as a result, causing a lot of changes in the society. That's what, because industrial revolution, it makes a lot of changes in the society. Which are the main changes? Okay, what are the changes? So, for instance, people in joint families separated into nuclear families. You just underline, that is the first impact. Underline. So the first changes. What are the changes that happen in society due to the industrial revolution? The first change, we can say that the first impact is that joint families separated into nuclear families. Then after that we can say women also began to participate as workers. That's the second one you can write. The same thing you can write. Okay. These are the impacts. The first one is that joint families separated into nuclear families, and women also began to participate as workers. They also started in working. Okay. Then people were paid according to the amount of work they did. Okay. As much they are doing, they will get the amount. That's it. Okay. So come to the second one. What is the second impact? A new economic system called capitalism came up. So you just underline. What is the next impact of industrial revolution? The second one is that a new economic system called capitalism. Capitalism means what? You just see what is capitalism. Okay. In this system, the means of production were in private. So that's the specialty of capitalism. Capitalism means in this system, the means of production were in private hands, and the main aim was to generate more profit. That is aim of capitalism. Okay. So in this system, capitalist system, they are mainly focusing on their just like a more profit, because they are only focusing their profit. And also this profit. Okay. In this system, we can see the means of production were private hands. And the main aim was to generate more profit. Okay, just underline that one. Then factory owners who owned wealth or capital came to be known as capitalists. So you just underline what is capitalist. You can write factory owners who owned wealth or capital came to be known as, that is capitalists. Okay, you just underline. Thus, two distinct class. Okay, already because when capitalism introduced, there is a class, two classes. Which are the two classes? We can say that. That is, of course, rich and poor. That's all. You just say the rich capitalists and the poor. Just underline. Okay. Overworked and underpaid workers emerged as a result of the industrial revolution. This is another impact. What is another impact? Overworked and underpaid workers emerged as a result of the industrial revolution. That is also we just underline. Overworked, just like overworked, heavy work, and also underpaid workers. It's like they are paying only less, and also some of the members they are not paying any money. That's emerged as a result of the industrial revolution. That's one. So come to the next one. The use of machines helped in cutting costs, and so when machines introduced, and so the people, those who are working in the field and also those who are working in the factory, humans, just like a manpower, no? Just like what we are saying, by hands, they are getting the less money because all the things are done by machines. So their importance is less, human importance is less, and also machine is giving more importance. That's what. Okay. The use of machines helped in cutting costs. Factory owners were concerned mainly with the profit. They are concentrating only their profit because if they are because with the help of machine they can produce more. And also if you are just like what is that? If you are giving importance to the human because they can produce only less, and also they will get the owners, factory owners, they will get only less profit. So with the machines they will get the more profit. That's what. That's only they are aiming. Okay. So that's why factory owners were concerned mainly with the profit and did not care for the welfare of the artisans. Artisans means just like a skilled workers and factory workers. They are not concerning the welfare of the artisans and the factory workers. They need only their profit. Okay, that's one. And also the workers gained little from the industrial revolution. And also with the due to industrial revolution, the workers they gain only less money. That's okay. Little from the industrial revolution because all the things are done by machines, and also the man they are not giving any importance. That's one. And also come to the next one. The industrial revolution worsened became very worsened. But the problem of child labor, and also next the other point is the child labor. Okay. Faced with the increase in demand and stiff means very hard. Okay, hard competition. Industrial establishments employed children to work in hazardous condition in cotton mills and match factories at mere wages. I think hazardous means very dangerous. Okay, I think just like in this situation we can see the child labor. They increase. This is like the worst situation of the child labor. We can see that faced with the increase in demand. Okay, the child labor they are giving more importance. And the stiff competition, hard competition, industrial establishments employed children to work just like what is that? Hazardous means dangerous condition in cotton mills. I think the child laborers, they are working in the cotton mills and match factories. Match factories. There's a factory with it's like a matchbox. Same. Okay. Match factories at mere wages. Mere wage means less wages. The factory owners they are giving only less payment. Okay. And so they are getting a stiff work, very hard work. That's it. This exposed them to disease, and also only through this hard work, those who are working in the factory, those children, those who are working in the children, they may get disease, abuse. They will be abused. Then after that, industrial accidents. Some of them are getting the industrial accidents, just like what is that? Just like a fall down, and also just like a crushing, something like this. Okay. So many abandoned and orphan children were sold off as pauper trainees and were severely punished if they tried to escape. And also some abandoned children. So abandoned means they say nobody is there to care. And also, or we can say orphan because nobody is there to care him because they are orphaned. Nobody is there to care. Children were sold off as pauper trainees. Sold off means they are selling for sale. Okay. Trainees as were severely punished if they try to escape. And as if they are trying to escape, they will be punished. It will be very severe punishment. Okay, that's one. And also, I think up to there, you don't have any doubt. Okay, I think rest of the things to be continued tomorrow. I think up to there you don't have any doubt. If you have any doubt, you just contact me. Okay, with this I am going to wind up this session. Thank you.